right, so I'm very excited today. I have one of the types of videos that I love to do the most, are the science-ish videos that I do. I truly appreciate everything else I do and all the collaboration we have going back and forth, showing my indoor figs and the outdoor figs. I love all of that. That's what keeps me going. But my passion in life is science. And you might not know that because I did finance in school and I don't do much science at all right now. But I loved it, and I used to get straight A's in it all the time in math. I love math. So anyway, today I have something very cool to show you. Check it out. A little bit of some extra CO2, a little carbon dioxide. And why? Why am I getting to use this? I say getting to because you don't need to use this all of the time. The way it works, my understanding of it, and by no means am I trying to pretend that I am an expert in any of this. I have been reading about it, I'd say, for the last 6 months or something like that, in a deep fashion. I've been doing a little bit more of a deep dive into it. And in ambient conditions like this, the normal carbon dioxide in the air is roughly 400 to 500 parts per million, if I remember correctly. And that will allow the plant to photosynthesize up to a certain point, right? And then you're going to start running into some limiting factors. And that's where good old Liebig's law comes into play, where Liebig's law states the plant growth will be limited by whatever element or factor is in the shortest supply. So for photosynthesis, you need carbon dioxide, water, and light. And when they need to be in equilibrium with each other for the plant to optimize the amount of photosynthesis that it could do. So when you are getting light exposure above 1,000 ppfd, and I have my ppfd reader. ppfd is short for photosynthetic photon flux density. I believe I have that correct. And it measures between the wavelengths of 400 to 700 nanometers, covering at the lower end of that blue light, which is going to help stimulate growth. At the higher end of that is the red light, which is going to help with flowering. And this super cool device that I have over here will show you all of the above. So, for example, I just take the reader and I point it at the light, and it's telling me that I have 275, 280, right around there. Par is all of those, that's between 400 and 700. So now when I change the setting here, it'll show me the breakdown of red, green, and blue light. It's such a super cool tool. So now, let me go back to the total. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this up here where the top of my tree is located. And how much ppfd am I getting over there? The measurement is micromoles per meter squared per second. That's what's being measured over here. And that's the amount of usable light that the plant can use for photosynthesis. And look at me, I'm right around 1,000 over here. If I move it around, over here, it might be a little bit lower as I come down here, or a little bit higher, depending on where my hand is located. It's really sensitive. It moves around a lot. So I'm going to take another measurement over here. So you can see, I'm up there. These leaves up here are definitely getting over 1,000 ppfd. So now that means that carbon dioxide becomes the limiting factor in photosynthesis. And there we come full circle back to I have an opportunity to use this very cool new product. Voila! So the way this works is, I believe, I open this up. Yeah. Something, don't I? Something gonna happen over here. Okay, and we're back after some technical difficulties. because I'm trying to rip this thing off. But all you have to do is simply slide it off. You introduce the fungi up here into the substrate, and what's going to happen is the fungi is going to eat, for a lack of better terms, the substrate, and that will release carbon dioxide into the environment. Well, obviously these would be much better with a closed environment, such as a grow tent. That's where they're more commonly used. When I told the person at the store that, yeah, I'm just gonna stick this in my room, he's like, I don't think that's the way it works. But I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna maybe buy myself a CO2 reader to see if I did anything over here by doing this. And ideally what you want is you want to increase the CO2 in the air from 400 or 500 parts per million up. I think that this bag, probably in a grow tent, can get it up to about 1,000 parts per million. And now carbon dioxide is no longer the limiting factor in photosynthesis. And now your tree could do more of what it's got to do. So if I can actually get this to come down over here, and for all of those that are worried about me, I'm worried about me too. So what I did was make sure that this is safe, knowing that I'm going to be in the same room as this all day. The amount of carbon dioxide that you need for it to be dangerous is closer to about 5,000 parts per million. So this is not even anywhere close. This is 20% of that. It's just increasing the ambient from 400, 500, getting it up to about 1,000, still well below the dangerous threshold that you need to stay under for it to become harmful to humans. And I think I'm doing this right. I have the fungus, which is pretty gross. I have that inside of the substrate over here. It's getting all mixed up. I don't think I'm supposed to mix it up. It takes some time for this to start working. It doesn't happen right away. I think it's quite some time, a few weeks or a month or something like that. And then it keeps going for about 6 months. It continues to release CO2. And I'm so excited I get to use this. There were not this many leaves. And my other trees out there, they don't get 1,000 ppfd. They get much less than that. So again, there's just no need for it because I would just be introducing carbon dioxide when the plant doesn't need it. If I was to check with my man Liebig and ask about out there what's going on, there would be a different limiting factor. And I'd want to go and understand what that limiting factor is. It could be anything. It could be a nutrient, an element, something that you should be feeding it. There will be a limiting factor when it comes to plant growth. And you just need to figure out what that is. Okay, I'm going to stop doing this now. I'm just going to leave this here because you could put this back on and hang it somewhere, but I don't have anywhere to hang it. So I'm going to just simply place this over here on the pumice or whatever, however you're supposed to say that, and just let it go up into the air. Now, I have a cool new tripod I should tell you about, and some sort of device that you all probably know way better than I do, that goes on top of the tripod, and it allows, it's doing all that rotation. It's not a person. Now I'm a solo act. And it also has a button that I could press. Oh yeah, look at that, it works. That I can take it off. Is my phone gonna fall off? Okay, so now that's gonna allow me to show you what I'm working with over here. And this thing just keeps moving And this is what we're working with up here. The lights are that close. And look at this beautiful tree. Let me take a moment to shamelessly plug this tree. This is the tree that started it all. This thing's just going to keep moving around in my hand right now. I think it wants me. It's looking for me. You looking for me? Oh, how you doing? So, but check out my Angelito. This is my indoor Angelito that started it all. This is an extra bonus part of the video. I'll put this at the end, I guess. This is the tree that's been indoors for 15 months. It's had 0 chill days. I know, this part of the video is just as exciting as the other part. I need to do a video on Angelito, a full video giving the history over here. And look at it. I up-potted it to this gigantic 46 gallon pot from a 10-gallon pot. It gave me 180 figs in that 10-gallon pot. So nothing against the 10-gallon, but it is much happier now, and it is just absolutely taking off. It has over 100 figs on it already. And it looks absolutely beautiful. It's growing very well. Again, it's never been outdoors. This thing has been in my house the entire time. All right, now let's see if I can navigate. All right, thank you for watching. Take care and have a wonderful day. Off. I can't wait till I can just be like, off. And the thing turns off.